Hi everybody, welcome to the show. This is the final week of Skirmish. Skirmish week 3. I have all the results from Ireland and the UK, and then we're going to do basically like a little wrap up. Okay, but before we get onto that, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, so we're starting with draft. I haven't really covered draft, but I got sent those results, so why not? Underworld games, this is the top 8. So we have 4 assassins, 3 rangers and a katsu. How does that pan out though? We have Noah Hicks on Azuri. He won Church of the D20 in last week in Loughborough. He's only 15 and he's made it into another final, so I expect great things from Noah in the Road to National season. No stranger to Katsu, however, is Simon Denning. So Simon Denning versus Noah in the final, and it was Simon who won that. So well done, Simon. The practice with Katsu for the last 2 years has really paid off. Well done. We have Bad Moon Cafe. So 6 assassins were taken in this top 8 draft. 1 Azalea and 1 Katsu. So are we seeing that sort of like assassin is the way to go, much like in Uprising where we saw sort of like Fi be the favourite? It certainly seems that assassins are more favourable at the moment. Let's see how that pans out into the final. We have Shamir Sami on Azuri and Jason Rolfe on Arachne. And Jason won this one on Arachne. So well done, Jason. And we'll see more of these two later on in the show. Okay, but that is the draft segment done. Okay, so here we are, the start of the skirmish. We have 7th Dimension in Belfast, 9 players. 7th Dimension weren't allocated a skirmish event, but Geek Retreat Lisbon, their one fell through, and 7th Dimension basically stood up, said, yep, we'll run it. So well done to you guys for doing this for the Irish community. 9 players took part. Dory Prodigy steps into this one, so everybody else is kind of like the usual suspects, but Dory has stepped into the fray here. Let's see how that pans out. We have Ryan Porter on Chain, Jamie McCabe on Dash, Cameron Hines on Kasai, and Stephen McKeever on Prism. Okay, I'd just like to take this time to say congratulations to Stephen. He is the first player in Ireland to get 1000 XP. That is a phenomenal achievement. Well played. I really hope LSS is still giving out gold tunics, because that is a fantastic achievement to have done. Okay, but did you make it into the final? Yes, you did. Okay, so Ryan Porter on Chain versus Stephen McKeever on Prism. Okay, the Battle of Light and Dark, what we're going to be seeing, you know, in the next set, in whatever Shadow Rune Blades there are and whatever Light Illusionists we have in Dusk Till Dawn, and this one pans out in Chain's favour. So well done, Ryan. Ryan Porter picks up the win in Belfast, 7th Dimension. Let's stay in Ireland. We got Gamers World. Gamers World, 14 players, 2 Azaleas, 2 Fi. Not seeing many Rangers. Especially Azalea, not seeing many ninjas in the way of fire this season. The others are kind of like, you know, the usual suspects, you know, Bravo and Briar sort of like come out to play occasionally. But how does that pan out? So we've got Lorenzo Patron on Ira, Carl Boyle on Icelander, Stephen McKeever again on Prism, and Dylan Thompson on Oldham. Now Dylan, I'm sure everybody remembers, won 3 Pro Quests in the last season. Let's see how can he make it into the final, and he can. So the final is Stephen McKeever with Prism versus Dylan Thompson with Oldham. So it's whether or not Stephen's got you know, can build up his auras in time, or whether or not Dylan can sort of like pound his way or fatigue his way to victory, and he certainly does. So well done to Dylan. Your winning ways continue. That's 4 wins this year now, so that's really, really good. Well done. Well played. Okay, so this is how the Irish metamap plays out. So we've got Chain, Ryan Porter, 7th Dimension in Belfast, and Oldham, Dylan Thompson, Gamers World Dublin. Fantastic results, guys. Well done. Okay, so this happened right at the beginning of the week. Monday night, Mystic Games in Witney near Oxford. 8 players. Chain has come in. Fi. And the usual suspects. We're kind of like used to this lineup by now. You know, Fi has popped in though. Okay, how does this one pan out? David Calf's on Chain, Nathan Hills is on Kasai, Ben Westmore on Icelander, and Richard Carr on Oldham. And Richard Carr won Manor League last week, so he's done really well. He's got into the top 4. And he makes it into the final as well. So we've got Nathan Hills on Kasai versus Richard Carr on Oldham in the final. And I can confirm that Nathan Hills wins this one with Kasai. Well done, Nathan. You won ProQuest in Manascrew. Your winning ways continue. And you can see him pretty much every week on my Manascrew Armoury show. As well as David Calf and Ben Westmore as well. So Richard, get yourself down to Manascrew. You came down once, come down again during the week. Okie dokie, Dark Sphere. This is the biggest event of the weekend. 29 players. Fantastic turnout. As we can see, sort of like, the more popular heroes have now, they're putting in the numbers. But what can we see here? Dromi's come out. The Emperor has turned up. And KO is here. KO is taken by Steve Charlick. He's from Bad Moon Cafe. Fantastic KO player. I've played him a couple of times and it's some really good games. The Briar list is probably a Cockroach Dundee. Liam Hartles was taking that, but I know he was changing it a little bit. Okay, so let's see how this pans out. And here we have the suspects. So left to right, and the characters represent who they are as well. So Jason Rolfe, who won the draft at Bad Moon Cafe, has taken Dash. Steve Charlick has taken KO. Shamir is on Chain, and Gavin is on Oldham. Gavin White, I should say. Okay, so let's see who makes it into the final. So Jason on Dash versus Gavin White on Oldham. Okay, so the winner today is Gavin White on Oldham. He completely fatigued out Jason. I'm pretty sure Jason would have been on a boost plan, and Oldham, yeah, he loves that. He loves that game plan. Like, just sit there and just block for days. So well done, Gavin. 29 player event. That is a fantastic achievement. Very well played. Well done. Over to Patriot Games. Patriot Games, 12 players. Okay, so the Wizards are pretty much coming out on this one. Wizards Up North is a thing. Kano especially, Rob Catton, Matthew Duggan. Benji has come into this one, and Valia. So it's probably on the Earthlore Bantu build, drawing cards, creating seismic surges to really put in some big attacks at a cheaper cost. But top 4. Top 4, Benji, Lila Green. So she started out on Benji and she still knows how to play him. Nathan Gibbons on Dash. Darren Hazelden on Icelander. And no surprise, Rob Catton is on Kano, making it into the top 4. But the final is Darren Hazelden on Icelander versus Rob Catton on Kano. Okay, so which wizard gets it? The Ice Wizard extinguishes the Wizard of Volcor. So Darren Hazelden, well done. That was a very good win. Fantastic. You played Prism last week. Didn't really pan out for you. Switching to Icelander this week. You borrowed the deck off Jack Fayer. So thanks to Jack for lending Darren the cards, and a fantastic win. Very well played. Okie dokie, Dice Saloon. So we're down in Brighton. This is Sunday. 2 Prism. So Prism leading the way. And a Katsu. Katsu's come out to play. Everybody else we've kind of like seen before. Let's see how they do. Dash, Edward Cardle, David Dyson on Icelander. Normally we see David with Bravo or Briar, so he switched to Icelander this time. Tom Jones on Oldham, and Kevin Sharples on Prism. So let's see how this works. So David Dyson has made it through with Icelander, and Kevin Sharples with Prism. Icelander has a little bit of trouble with the auras. She can't really kill them unless she's running a Bullander list to get rid of some of the heralds anyway. So and Kevin Sharples wins this one. So well done, Kevin, winning with Prism. She hasn't posted many wins, so fantastic work. The last event. 3 Rangers, 3 Azalea. She hasn't done very well this season. Does really well in CC, but she's not really firing on all cylinders really so far. Old Azalea in Blitz. The other standout one is Dory. We finally got a Dory. Yay! Brilliant. Okay, the original Golden Girl. Let's see how she does. We've got a 5, we've got a Katsu, and the usual suspects. Okay, but Theo Mags made it in with Icelander, Joe Potter with Kasai, Francesco Giorgio with Oldham. There's no surprise Francesco's on Oldham, and Connor McNamara with Reinar. Okay, so this is the final. Theo Mags on Icelander versus Joe Potter with Kasai. And Theo wins this one with Icelander. If he was on a more of an arcane build, Kasai's really going to struggle. All that armour's not going to make a jot of difference, and she runs a heck of a lot of reds. So well done, Theo. This is the week 3 wins and their conversion rates. So we can see that Oldham has got 2 wins and his conversion rate is 33. So his conversion rate is a lot higher because less people took Oldham. Okay, and then we've got pretty much an even split at the bottom. 1 win apiece, a conversion rate of 14% for Kasai and Prism. Okay, but let's see how this affects the overall. So this is the top 5 overall heroes for Blitz in the UK. So 5 wins for Icelander, converting at 16%, and 4 wins for Oldham, converting at 20%. Okay, so this is, you know, it's following the trend that we've seen globally that LSS puts out their numbers. Oldham and Icelander are winning the most. We've seen here that, you know, Briar has done really well here. You know, the Cockroach Dundee list that Mike Kerslake made. It's very much like a Cheerios, very much like Matt Folks' Pro Tour winning deck. You know, it's got a tweak. It's running a Royal Crown, but really suffers to disruption. But you know, if he can pull well in the first two hands, it's pretty much game over. Kano, Rob Catton's taken that to a win, and Adrian's taken that to a win. And we've seen Azuri come through. We saw Azuri do well in Limited, and now she has posted some good results in Blitz. So I can confirm that Icelander was not the highest represented hero, though. She was represented 31 times. The only hero to have more, you know, people taking that hero more than Icelander is Reinar. Reinar had 32 players take Reinar. I was one of them. And his winning conversion rate was only 3%. Yes, Reinar can hit like a truck, but he just can't, he just hasn't got the consistency. So, yeah, if he ever became consistent, Jesus, we're in for a tough time. But we're going to say goodbye to Icelander and Oldham. These guys are going to the lofty vaults of the living legend, and away they go. So we're not going to see the skirmish meta until Dusk Till Dawn comes out. Are we going to see a new Shadow Runeblade young hero? Are we going to see sort of like a new young light illusionist? But yeah, at the minute it's pretty much going to be Lexi, you know, controlling it with her ice. Everything else might be a it might be a bit crazy with the amount of aggro going on. Okay, so this is the Scottish meta map. Okay, Icelander, Andrew Rayner, Highlander Games Dundee, Oldham, Yongjing Jan, Geek Retreat Glasgow. Well done, guys. It is flipping cold up north. We have the north of England, Dash, Craig Johnson, Trinity Car Capital, Icelander, Darren Hazelden, Patriot Games, Kano, Rob Catton, and Adrian Samudia from EH Gaming and Jester Games, Lexi, Mitch Hewson, Geek Retreat Leeds, Azuri, Lila Green, Living Realms. Let's go to the Midlands and East Anglia. We have Briar, Mike Kerslake, Manascrew, and Noah Hicks on Church of the D20. Icelander, Raymond Rouse with Alpha Games, Kasai, Daniel Johnson, Candlekeep, Nathan Hills, Mystic Games, Oldham. There we go, mate. I got you onto the map. Richard Carr, Manaleek, Reinar, Daniel Scupham at Skyward Fire. So well done to everybody. Armory Knights, Sean Buggerlugs McCherry has done a fantastic job with Armory Knights this season. Pretty much 2 events every weekend. The Arachne wins by way of the drafts that were held at Geek Retreat Holloway and Bad Moon Cafe. Well done, Jamie Faulkner. Used to be the number 1 player for draft for Limited. So he's continuing his winning ways there. Ira, Dan Tripp, Wayland Games, Icelander, Lubos Vanicek, Ball Game Hut. Oldham, Gavin White, Dark Sphere, and Azuri, Shamir Sami, Rule 0. And there we have the South. Icelander, Theo Mags, Board in the City, and Prism, Kevin Sharples in Die Saloon. Well done, everybody, for winning. and taking your hero to the lofty heights of a mark on the chart for Living Legends. Thank you to all the players for taking Icelander and Oldham and putting them into Living Legend. Thank you very much for that. But this is Road to Nationals. This, we are now going into Classic Constructed. Everybody is going to be watching Pro Tour to see how that turns out, and that obviously is going to dictate what we're going to be seeing in the Road to Nationals. So this year we have 3 events in Ireland. We've got Gamers World and the Gathering in Limerick, 7th Dimension in Belfast. So justly rewarded for how well they support the Irish community. But the new guys, Gathering in Limerick, that's like southwest of Ireland. We're going to see what their community's like. Are the players sort of like from Dublin area, Belfast area, going to be travelling all the way down there to Limerick? We shall see. But everywhere else, well done. There's not many events in around Midlands, which is a bit of a shame. Please don't mistake Manor League Birmingham from Manor Screw in Northampton. Okay, they sound similar, but if you turn up at Manor Screw, you're about an hour away. Okay, so please, if you're going to Manor League, go to Birmingham. I will be there too, hopefully. I shall also be there at Underworld Games in Nottingham. Okay, but as always, if you have the results from these events, please send them through to me, because without you guys there isn't a show. Okay, and it's nice to see how the UK does. Okay, so big thank you time. Okay, Gavin C, Jamie Average Ninja Booster, Kieran the Ragamuffin Man, Pew Pew for 2, Dylan, I think that's Dylan Thompson, Westy, Sean Buggerlugs McCherry from Armory Knights, Camfo, Dave at Darksphere, Steve Charlick from Bad Moon Cafe, Lila Green, Darren Hazelden, we shall say Flesh and Bunny on YouTube, so go check him out. DeRoach6, Darren Stokes, Darren's Cards for singles, and I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Hamish for stepping in and helping me with the show. He's not here today, but that is my fault. It's just scheduling and me cocking things up. All right, but thank you everybody who's been watching. Please subscribe to the show, and we will see you in a few weeks for Road to Nationals. And until that time, enjoy.